All right, welcome back. Thank you again. If you've made it this far, you're doing really well. I hope that my storytelling abilities are okay. So I think we left off on part 2 where I was talking about I had been prescribed the hormones and how quickly that process happened. And it wasn't going to be that way at one stage. At one stage I was referred to an endocrinologist. And the initial doctor that I saw wasn't my current treating doctor. She had some experience with transgender patients, but she wasn't the specialist at this particular practice. So she'd sort of given me like all of the options without realising exactly what it was that was going to work for me. So I was given the details, the referral for the endocrinologist. I rang their office and I couldn't get an appointment. I think it was like till the 8th of December or something. Remember, we're talking back here early October. So it was like October, November, December. That I just fell apart. I thought, no, like I'd sort of come so far so quickly, and there was this light at the end of the tunnel, like the start of a new era type of thing. And then I was told, oh yes, but now you're gonna have to wait a couple of months to see the endo. I was like, oh. Anyway, that afternoon, I'd had a phone call from my now treating GP saying, oh, no, that's not right. You don't have to see him. I can actually write you a script based on the recommendations that your therapist has given you. Because another thing was they wanted me to go see a psychiatrist, not a psychologist, which is what I'm currently seeing. So I thought, so now I've got to go and all this costs money too, don't forget. Like all these appointments, all these specialists and doctors, and it all costs money. So that's another story, right? So there's a financial burden to transitioning as well. Another story for another time. So I get this phone call, and I think it was a Friday afternoon. It would have been the 15th. Yeah, 15th. I was sitting on that couch just over there, and the phone rang. It was the doctor, and she said, hey, guess what? You know, I can write you a prescription for these hormones. You come and see me on Monday and we'll get you started. Like, you've waited long enough. And I was like, no way. Like really? I'm reliving it now. It was the most amazing moment of my life. Probably a bit of an oversell. I've got children, I was there for their birth, and there's a lot of other things that were pretty amazing. But this was just amazing, absolutely amazing. So I obviously broke down and cried for the rest of the day in absolute sheer excitement and joy that I was actually going to start realising my dream. All those years, my whole life of wishing that I would wake up as a girl, that I was actually going to start that path, start that journey. And look, I knew it was going to be a very long journey, but it was at the start of one nonetheless. So I went to that appointment on the Monday. She wrote me the script, and it was the first time too that I kind of left the house. I had a bit of COVID hair going on, so I had a bit of a long hair thing happening, and I trimmed down because of the weight and everything. So it was the first time I went out, and I sort of tried to do some feminine things. I put a little bit of eye makeup on and, a few things. So it was the very first moment for me going out in public, trying to present somewhat as who I really am. Sorry if this is dragging on. Scripts written. This particular practice has a pharmacy attached to it. So I basically walked from one side of the room to the other, handed in my script, and within moments I had my estrogen and my testosterone blocker in my hand. And it was like, is this really happening? Is this really, really happening? So yeah, it was. So I went home and I applied. I'm using patches. Yes, that's where they go. And I take a tablet for the testosterone blocker. So it all began on the 18th of October. That's my new birthday. I've got it marked in my calendar as Brittany's birthday. That's the day it came out. I also went and got my ears pierced on that day to mark the ceremony of the event. I look, before I always had my left ear pierced, and I had a top piercing up there. And so I went and I got the bottom one done. So I had the matching ones left and right. And if you know anything about gender euphoria, the amount of euphoria that gave me was absolutely amazing. And then since I've had my second piercings done, and I got those done on Christmas Eve, as well as my eyebrows waxed. So for the unaware, never get your eyebrows waxed the day before you're planning on going somewhere social, because they will be inflamed and red, and no one told me that. So trial and error. Anyhow, so it's official, right? So I'm on hormones. Here we go. We're on the path. We're on the journey, and it's not all smooth sailing. Can I tell you? The therapy was absolutely wonderful. So there was all these moments where I thought once I'd come out, once I'd spoken my truth, and it was out, that I'd be relieved, that I'd be, whew, thank God, that's off my chest. Nope. No. Because then all the questioning starts. For me anyway, again, this is my experience, you could be different, but the questioning starts. Then, is this the right thing? Am I a fraud? Am I really feeling this way? Do I really want to transition? Am I going to lose my relationship? Am I going to lose my family? Am I going to lose my career? All the things, that the life that I've built, is that all? And then the doubt sets in, and then you really start this horrible cycle of, I did anyway, of questioning. And then the other thing I did with my self-harming tendencies was to then start blaming myself, and then really hating myself, and saying to my prior self, you idiot, like, I effing hate you. Why did you wait so long? Look at how, oh, there goes my cat, sorry, there's a cameo. Why did you wait so long to do this, you idiot? And I got really angry. I hit my angry phase. So get ready for that. It could happen to you. And my wife was quite distraught by that, to be honest with you, because I was talking about the man that she loved, the man that she fell in love with, and that person that she married and had her children with. I was unintentionally writing that person off and saying what an absolute asshole he was. And it took a couple of therapy sessions for me to realise that that was the wrong thing to do. That, in fact, I should be celebrating that life. Because although it was difficult and it took me so long to get to here, I still managed to forge a fairly decent life for myself. I've had long, meaningful relationships. I've been married for, it'll be 19 years next March, but we've been together for 25. I've got 2 beautiful children. My family are all with me. I've got a really good career that I've worked really hard for. So, I had to reflect back at all of the good things that my former self had achieved. And the reality was, if that hadn't been forged, I probably wouldn't have been able to do this. So I actually had to go through a forgiveness phase after that. And I really had to look inside and forgive myself. And then align the two, the old and the new. So I thought that once I stepped over that threshold and I became Brittany, I became the woman that I wanted to be my whole life, that I'd say goodbye to him. No. He is such an integral part of my life and who I am today. Because what I'm realising now as I further transition is that I am still me at my core. There are a lot of things about me that I enjoyed as a man that I still enjoy as a woman. And essentially who I am is still who I am. My exterior is changing. Sure, my emotions are changing. The way I react to situations and my thought processes change. And, we'll probably do a video on the changes caused by HRT. But I had to have this realisation that I'm still me. And I hope that makes sense, because to me that was that was really important. So once I got past that stage, I could then start telling others. I then thought I'd come out to the world, and I started with close family, then close friends, and then the path continued from there. So we're at another 10 minutes. Geez, it goes fast, doesn't it? So that was, I think that was part 3, wasn't it? So let's wrap up here, and if I've got you engaged and you want to know what happens next in the story, then come back for part 4. Thanks again for watching. Bye.